Now, sitting beside my monstrous clone, I can't help but notice he looks a little confused. I mean, it's easy to see he can't hold his liquor. But he's only 6 years old. And 6 years old for a clone is like, well, we don't quite know yet. I mean, he almost looks older than I do, but in a weathered sort of way. Kind of like a wind-blasted cherub. You know, the cloning debate can rage all day long, but in the meantime, I've got myself a monstrous clone. When I had my monstrous clone made, it wasn't for spare parts, it was for companionship. It does mess with my head a little bit, though. I mean, my monstrous clone ages so rapidly, I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to look like in the next few years, or if that's just part of the cloning learning curve for scientists. I mean, it's growing back here at a rapid rate, and it's got bad knees. I know about the knees because we started playing pickup basketball at the park a few weeks back. You know, my growth spurt made my knees hurt, so imagine how much it must have hurt my monstrous clone, because it only took him 4 years to become my size. Man, that son of a gun can rebound. I suppose calling my monstrous clone it might not be politically correct, but if I were worried about pleasing everybody, I probably wouldn't have a monstrous clone in the first place. I should call it he, though. I mean, after all, it is a boy. Or a man. I'm not sure. It went through puberty about 3 years ago. Tell you what, that was a weird month. I wasn't sure when its voice was changing because it sounded like its voice was changing from day one. And it's not a bad person. Although if there were such thing as a human being assembly line that it had come off of, the supervisor probably would have said, "That's a bad person." Speaking of ugly heads, when the ethics issue is raised, I plead human. I mean, I can't know who or what has a soul, but I do believe anything that can rebound like that has got to have one. Now, sometimes people look at me weird, but I'm used to it. I mean, maybe you shouldn't be drinking beer at age 6, but after the way it laid it out there on the basketball court, a man's got to buy his monstrous clone a beer. Hey, I got a new definition of stigma for you. Stigma equals having a monstrous clone. You know, a lot of women, they like guys who bring puppies to the park, and then they meet the guy there, and then they go out for coffee, and then they get married. Yeah. I borrowed a puppy from a friend a while back just for that purpose, but I got nothing, so I abandoned the idea. And instead, I bring my monstrous clone to the park. It's like I got some sort of street cred now. Guys give me more respect now that I got a monstrous clone. I suppose in 10 to 15 years, clones will come up with all the hang-ups and psychoses that all the other humans do, but not my monstrous clone. I'm just going to enjoy the time we have together. It's balding already, which makes me pretty nervous for myself. They're going to have to re-examine the drinking age when it comes to clones, because this thing's bound down in beers like they're nothing. You know, sometimes people come up to me on the basketball court and they say, "You know, he really looks like you." I just say, "He is." Yeah, that's right, buddy. Basketball.